Have you ever noticed that Christians can debate theology for hours and hours? I know, because I am one of those Christians. We debate about Calvinism versus Arminianism. We debate about pre-trib, post-trib, young earth, old earth, complementarianism, egalitarianism, continuationism, cessationism, King James only, Hebrew roots, theonomy, partial preterism, dispensationalism, social justice, Christian nationalism. I mean, this list goes on and on and on. Now, don't misunderstand me. I mean, doctrine matters, truth matters, good theology matters, but the purpose of sound doctrine is not simply to produce correct thinkers, it is to produce faithful followers of Jesus who make more disciples. Good theology is a means to the end of glorifying Christ through obedient, multiplying disciples, not an end in itself. But here's a thought to ponder. The devil doesn't care if Christians win every theological debate, as long as they are not making disciples. Have we built churches that are excellent at producing theological experts, but actually terrible at producing disciple makers? I think we've got Jesus' mission all messed up. So let's think about it. Jesus' final command of making disciples wasn't complicated. He didn't say, go therefore and defend every theological system. He didn't say, go and win every online argument. He didn't say, make sure that everyone agrees on your doctrinal perspective. He did say, go therefore and make disciples. Everything the church does should serve that mission. Teaching for discipleship making. Worship for disciple making. What about small groups? Well, that's for disciple making. Leadership for disciple making. Doctrine also for disciple making. Doctrine is not the destination, it is the roadmap. And I think somehow we've started admiring the map way too much and actually forgot to get on the road and take the journey. Jesus didn't simply transfer information, he actually invited people to follow him. For 3 years, he lived with his disciples. He ate with them, he walked with them, he corrected them, he encouraged them, and he sent them. He modeled life before them. See, discipleship was actually apprenticeship. Today, many Christians have listened to thousands of sermons, finished dozens of Bible studies, read countless books, watched hundreds of YouTube videos, and yet have never discipled a single person in their life. How can this be? I mean, that's a huge problem. We have more biblical information available than any generation in history. But are we producing more disciples or just better debaters? And with all this information on hand, I think the internet actually has made everything worse. I mean, social media rewards controversy. The algorithms overemphasize outrage. Nobody goes viral because they spent 3 years discipling somebody who goes and makes more disciples. I mean, but if you destroy someone in a theological debate, thousands of views. I mean, all one has to do is do a reaction video, maybe expose another pastor, refute another denomination, or argue another doctrine, and you get instant engagement. We've created a Christian entertainment industry centered around criticism. And while we're busy arguing, people are dying without Christ. We're fighting over the furniture while the house is on fire. The Apostle Paul warned us. He says that knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. And knowledge isn't the enemy. Pride is. I mean, have you ever met someone who could explain every detail of the end times, but couldn't show patience toward another believer? Someone who knew the Greek verbs, but has never led anyone to Christ. Someone who could defend the 5 points of Calvinism, but has never invested in helping another Christian grow. I mean, the goal of theology isn't simply to know more. It's to love God more. It's to love people more. It's to obey Christ more and help others do the same. Now, early on in my Christian life, I just remember how much love I had for systematic theology. And I remember no matter where I would go, I always wanted to have the upper hand with doctrine and theology. And I would argue debate people on theology and doctrine. And I remember getting through a systematic theology book and kind of slamming it shut, going, man, I read it all. But at the end of that, it was like this little still small voice, the Holy Spirit saying, that's great, you know all this stuff, but is this helping you love God more? Is it helping you to become a better Christian? And if it's not, something is gravely wrong. I think too often we are majoring in the minors. I mean, please hear me on this. Some doctrines are worth definitely dividing over: the Trinity, the deity of Christ, the resurrection, and even the gospel itself. I mean, these are essential doctrines. But many of the things that divide churches today are actually secondary issues. How many churches have a clear disciple making process that actually makes disciples who make disciples? How many Christians can say, I am intentionally discipling someone, or someone is actually discipling me? We've perfected theological systems, but neglected spiritual multiplication. Believe it or not, the church was actually designed to reproduce. The early church didn't simply gather, it multiplied. Disciples made disciples, churches planted churches, leaders raised up leaders, faith spread from house to house, city to city, nation to nation. The church wasn't designed to become a weekly lecture hall, it was designed to become a multiplying family. Somewhere along the way, we've settled for gathering a crowd instead of launching a movement. We need apprentices, not consumers. Just so you know where I'm coming from, I mean, doctrine has a purpose. I'm not suggesting that doctrine doesn't matter, but bad doctrine produces bad disciples. False teaching can destroy churches. Truth must be protected. But doctrine is supposed to fuel discipleship, not replace it. Healthy doctrine should produce greater humility, greater holiness, greater love, greater courage, greater mission. If your theology doesn't make you more like Jesus, something has gone horribly wrong. So, what if we've mistaken theological precision for spiritual maturity? What if we become so busy defending the faith that we've forgotten actually to live it? We've mastered arguments, but neglected apprenticeship. We've built platforms instead of people. We've produced critics instead of disciple makers. Here's the question that haunts me: how many souls are we winning for the kingdom by winning theological arguments? The early church turned the world upside down, not because they won every debate, but because they made disciples who made disciples. Imagine if every Christian spent as much time investing in one person as they do scrolling through theological content on social media. Imagine if every church measured success not by attendance or online engagement, but by how many mature disciples were being multiplied. Imagine if we became known less for what we were against and more for who we are raising up. Doctrine matters. In fact, it matters immensely. But doctrine was never meant to terminate in our minds. It was meant to transform our lives and overflow into the lives of others. Theology should move our feet. Truth should compel obedience. Knowledge should produce love. And sound doctrine should create disciples and disciple makers. One day, every one of us will stand before Jesus. I don't expect him to ask how many arguments we won on social media. I don't expect him to ask whether we could articulate every nuance of our favorite theological system. But I do believe that we'll all give an account in how we've obeyed his final command. Did you make disciples? Not merely attend church, not merely know the Bible, not merely defend sound doctrine. Did you make disciples? Because in the end, the church was never called to become a Christian or doctrinal debate club. It was called to become a disciple making movement. So here's my challenge: the next time that you're tempted to spend an hour arguing theology online, ask yourself one simple question: who could I be discipling? If this challenged you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, I ask that you like it, subscribe, and share it with someone who wants to pursue truth. Until next time, keep pursuing truth at all cost. And oh yeah, thank you for thinking about it.